All right. You guys left off talking to Ragdar and the Mystic, and they had informed you about the Markadon and all the stuff kind of going on in the local area. You guys had said that you guys were going to go retrieve the core that you had left in town. The journey back would only take about 2 days of not rough travel if you went with the guides, which were Vosh. I believe it was Vosh and Nash.
Yeah.
And what else was there? Ezra's character and Josh's character and Brina's character were going to stay behind and help with the camp for a bit. Ezra, you were going to do some blacksmithing. John, you were going to help him. And Thera was going to make traps in the local area to help defend from what was going on. Are there any questions, or are we ready to begin?
I think we're ready.
All right. If we are ready to begin, then let's start off strong. So, do you remember what time of day it was after you had talked to everybody? I think it was like mid-afternoon.
I think it would have been, yeah. It wasn't, I don't think it was late.
I don't think it was late either. I think you guys got in like mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it was not crazy late.
With that being said, Jessica, do you want to head out immediately with Leovar?
Yeah, we would try to make good time.
Okay.
So
I'll just write that down. Okay. Now, that being said, is there anything major that anybody else would like to do? There's not really a lot going on right now inside the town, or if you guys leave. So I leave it up to your discretion if there's anything else that you would like to do. Else, we can just jump to Vera and Leovar getting to the town.
Well, I'm assuming just the three of us are just gonna start doing our helping.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like
you could talk to people,
you
get
guys can
more
all take
information.
tens or whatever else for all that stuff. Like, I'm not gonna make you roll. I'm saying if there's anybody else that you would like to talk to, explore the town. Just realize that the town doesn't really trust you.
Yeah. No.
And Ragnar has kind of made it obvious that while you're here, not necessarily everybody's okay with it.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just pretty much going to be working in the forge. I got nothing special on my agenda.
And if I'm not for some reason able to help in the forge or whatever, I'll continue whittling something new.
okay. So Ezra and John, when you guys get to the forge, and I'm using quotes for that because the half-orcs and the orcs definitely have set up. Well, let's be honest, it's mostly orcs here. The forge that they have, quote-unquote, is more like a really big fire inside of a house that has some steel anvils that were obviously stolen because they are beat up as all fuck. And there really isn't a good workstation for you to work at, because it is very apparent that while they do have the most rudimentary of basics down here, it is exactly that, just the most basics. There has been no real attempt or stride to improve these blacksmithing tools and areas. And when you get there, there are two orcs that greet you begrudgingly, and one of them is like larger than the other, and he just immediately walks up to you guys and kind of goes, "You dwarf?"
Yes.
"Ragnar told me you help. This true?"
That's the plan.
"Then help." And he just walks off.
Goodness.
I'll pull out my tools and look at what I have to work with and just,
It's not good.
oh dear Lord, this is going to be a journey.
I'll start helping with the fire.
Okay. Can you both make a
Yeah.
spot check for me?
First thing I want to do is see if there is an obvious way to improve the the heat aspect, because that is one of the more important.
So they aren't actually using like a coal fire, like a normal blacksmith. It usually has an actual like brick or some sort of like actual forge, more or less, with like hot coals and like special material in order to make the fire burn extremely hot.
Yeah.
Magical or elsewise. These guys are literally just using what looks to be a very rudimentary stone, like kind of
almost like a fire pit.
It's a fire pit with like a stone oven kind of built. It looks like it wasn't really built for this purpose. It was probably like at one point like a baker's oven that was retrofitted into being a forge, and I use that term very lightly. Like it does the job, like it gets stuff hot, but not where you want it to be, nor is it easy to like actually use the material in the way that you need to use it.
Would we by any chance be able to set up a rudimentary bellows? Which is the big pump that
yeah. I'm trying to think of like
in his mind with how it works. Can we dig a hole into the side of it? Like dig a hole into the side of this pit, because it's in the ground, right?
Do either of you have knowledge architect?
That's a negative.
Doesn't
It doesn't exist technically.
no Thera
Or engineering?
Yeah.
What? Why would I?
No, Thera.
Oh, Thera.
I'm pretty sure Thera does she not?
Does she?
Yeah, if someone has knowledge architect / engineering.
I have engineering.
We
Oh,
could
that's
do
what it was.
stone cutting to fuck with it a little bit,
That's
but
what
I
it
mean
was.
that's gonna be our best shot.
Stone cutting's not going to get you like building stuff.
No, that's very.
So stone cutting is
very
like the
bad.
ability to like recognize like, hey, I know what this type of stone is. Not necessarily like, hey, I can craft. Well, you can craft some stuff with stone.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be our closest shot to doing that. Not
Yeah.
exactly a good one, but
It's the equivalent
closest.
of bardic knowledge for it.
I would say one step further.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be like realistically what it is. It'd be like you're a geologist. Do you know how to build a brick oven? I know what stone I could use for that. I don't know how to build it.
Yeah. But.
At least that's how I'm interpreting it.
Mhm.
So, I'll tell you what, Ez. If you want to try with your most rudimentary skill in a stone cutting check, you can try.
Yeah, there's not much I'm gonna make it worse, I don't think. And the spot check, I rolled a 15, so 18 total.
Okay.
I had a 3.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and roll me that check first, and I'll tell you what the spot is for later.
13.
So you try to make your best do with it, but you just don't have like the correct tools for this job. You know, like you don't have.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much either, so...
Yeah, you really don't have a good... You kind of try for a little bit, but you need a full restructure in this place. Honestly, if you had like maybe like a month and some good materials and an actual engineer, maybe. But with how it is now, ugh.
Yeah, I'll just do the best I got. It should be good enough for repairs, not exactly forging new materials, but...
Yeah, and even then, it's still going to be rough.
Like, beyond that, I might be able to supplement with some magic, but beyond that, it's not going to be a very good solution.
Okay. So with your spot check, you can notice that there's a back end to this building, and after a couple hours of working, you can notice that the orcs walk in there quite frequently with gear, and they come out, and it looks better. But they haven't let you, like, you haven't asked about it, but obviously there's something back there.
Like, one thing I would try to ask is what exactly they need most.
So the big orc, or at least the bigger of the two, the one that's done most of the talking, he looks at you and he points. If you ask him, do you speak orc?
No.
Leobar's the only one.
Right, I forgot
He's
about
the
that.
only one.
So we're just gonna say this big orc for some reason knows how to speak common, just to make this.
Rudimentary common.
Yeah, he
Rudimentary.
speaks. He
Pretty
speaks very
broken
broken common.
Yeah.
But when you ask him, he just kind of like looks at you and he grunts and he points to like you see all these swords for orcs and spears and arrows and just there's like a line of shabby weaponry that, in your opinion, has not been looked after very well.
So it's just a lot of upkeep. Got it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, you have craft weapons, right?
Correct.
Roll a d20 for me.
With my craft weaponry, that's going to be a 29.
So you can see that these weapons, honestly, there's a good third of these weapons that are not really repairable for all intents and purposes. Like, these orcs are making do, but what they're doing with the weapons, like bolting and slagging on metal and, you know, these fixes that they're doing are not good. Like, they make the weapon worse. Probably worse than what it was before, but they'll stay together, but they're not going to be useful weapons. They're shitty weapons. So
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go down the line, and
Hey.
I'm going to...
you could just keep doing this. I mean, so what they're doing. Do you want to give
I'm gonna
orcs
go
better
down
weapons?
The line, and I'm going to start with what is repairable. Like, go from the best case scenarios and down to the worst case, and like when it comes down to it, I might just start completely breaking shit down to recraft.
Oh, or no, you have me fuck with the ones that are already kind of messed up. So it goes like, hey, you can't make it any worse. Here, you try. Yay!
So do you want to start with the weapons that are in the best condition and try to fix those?
The ones that are like actually repairable, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then the ones that have had these like slap job shit together, like when I get to it, I don't imagine it's going to be anytime soon, but I would be like, hey, these aren't fixable. I'm just going to make new shit out of them.
That's if we get to that point. Let's see how long this takes.
Well,
Well, it doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of good shit to work with, so I think it might be faster than we think.
Well, there are 20 weapons that are in this lineup right now, and I would say a good 7 of them are pretty much garbage. According to your
Yeah, that's not too bad.
expertise. Like, but
That's honestly a better number than I thought.
I told you about 20 or 30%. So so there's like 16 that are between very damaged but still repairable and okay damaged but or worn or whatever else like that. Going back to what I said earlier, you see the room that the orcs are disappearing into, and you can tell that the gear comes out better after it's from there, but only
Like,
slightly.
how
And you only
much
notice
better?
that because your expertise in weapons, you can see that they're actually coming out better than they went in, but they haven't told you to go in there, so you have no idea what the fuck's in that room.
Like, after I get through a handful, I would ask, like, what are you guys doing back there to repair so quickly?
So how long does it take to repair a weapon?
It doesn't really give you a set time.
Okay,
if
let's
if
do
they're
this.
just basic things, I would probably say like probably give or take an hour because it goes off of like gold piece value.
Okay, so how long would it take to make let's just say like a great sword?
Oh, to like make one?
Yeah, because I have an idea. I have a formula in my brain that I might use for it. So
Because I'd have to look at it again. Because I know there's like you can do a rush job, and then it makes the DC go up, and then it's the DC times the
Well, it's DC times check in
Yeah.
copper pieces.
yeah.
Okay.
If you do rush jobs.
So, like, doing a rush job, or aka you can up the DC requirement
okay, to
by
work
a certain
faster.
point to make it work faster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a voluntary thing.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna assume that you're just taking 10s because I assume you're not gonna make this strenuous on yourself. Just like go for it. So give me Let's use the greatsword as the basis for this, just for all purposes, because the weapons are bigger. Like, maybe some of them are long swords, but they're orc weaponry, so they're gonna be bigger, heavier, and all that other fun stuff. Even though they're medium creatures. Yeah, just use the great.
Real quick, how much does a greatsword cost?
I think it's like 20 gold.
It's 200 copper. Da, 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 da.
And are these like not masterwork?
No, none of these are masterwork. You can give them masterwork if you want.
Okay, apparently the cost of repairing an item is 1/5 the item's price, but of course that could vary depending on how fucked up it is.
Oh, so great
So
sword is.
martial and melee weapon initial DC is 15. If I'm taking 10s on weapons, I'm getting 24. So 24 times 15 in copper pieces per, let's say, like hour work.
Is that what it translates to? Is that what the craft check is 1 hour?
I'm trying to find that specifically.
Okay.
It says progress by day.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's per 8 hours of work.
You can make checks by the day instead of by the week in this case. So it's assuming, like, as an adventurer, you're doing a little bit in downtime throughout the day, so it's over a week. But cut that down to a day, yeah, I'd say probably like an 8-hour work. So I'd probably, like, easily, if I'm just able to take 10s on this, bump it up to 20, so 20 by 24.
Hello.
I can get through.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume that it's saying for the day is like an 8-hour check.
Great swords in a day.
How many?
24 great swords in a day.
24.
You can
Or
fix.
no, I can fix 2.5 great swords in a day. My bad.
Okay, I was like,
Because of 1/5 the price.
what the fuck?
Oh, I didn't even factor the 1/5.
Yeah, because it says the cost of repairing an item is 1/5 the item's price. So you could say, like, because some of these are really fucked up, so it might be like half. We have to go to half the price because they're that fucked up. Some of them.
Then I could do like 4 great swords in a day if it's half price.
Okay, so you can fix 4 great swords, essentially a day, with
Yeah.
gold. Okay.
Yeah, because it's the check times what you get, the DC times your check. Yeah, and what's your bonus?
14 if I'm working with metal.
Okay, yeah. So he's got like a 24 times 15. That's how much copper.
Yeah, I
Thank
was saying, like, if I up to the DC to 20 is like rush jobs.
Then you
not
probably
a
had to
So
huge
we'll just
increase.
say you can fix like 4 great swords. Technically, it would actually be great axes because great swords are 50 gold. But regardless, this is a mix of weaponry, so we'll use the great axe as like the medium for this. All right, so you're kind of working through the day. You want to say, like, after like 2 of them, you want to ask them.
Yeah.
They don't go into it very often. It's like probably once every couple hours, but you do notice this. So,
Is it look like they're emergency repairs type deal, or do they look half decent going in and better coming out?
what was your spot check?
18.
You don't spot every time that they go in. You don't always see all the gear that they're taking in, but they bring in a mix of gear, and some of it's really bad and some of it's just okay, but it always comes out looking better.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'd say about 2 or so into this, I'd be like, what's the trick in back?
So the half orc kind of looks at, or the orc, the big orc looks at you and just kind of goes, "What?" Remember, they don't speak full common.
Quick work in back.
He looks at you and just kind of goes, "Yes, we work back."
Better forge.
Not you. You work out here.
I can help more.
He doesn't seem to understand. He goes back to doing his work.
Because they're doing it. pretty quick back there from the looks of it too, yeah.
I mean, they're usually in there for a little bit, but yeah. Do you want to check out some of the gear that comes out from the back?
Yeah, once I'm aware of it, I'd probably try and keep an eye on it.
So at one point, the orcs set some of the gear down, and they're like moving some stuff around. If you wanted to, you could go over to the table and look at it.
Probably not. I'm not trying to overstep boundaries.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna be like, from my work, when I can notice what's going on, I'm not gonna like
Press.
walk over there and try and press it too much because, yeah, I don't want to make a bad situation worse.
Fair enough. Garskar John, are you doing anything?
I am assisting him.
Okay.
However I can.
Okay. And Farah, what are you doing?
Well, I'm assuming that their trackers or their huntsmen are kind of the ones that took Vera and Clockwise Brain. Forgetting names right now. Leo. I'm assuming they were the ones most likely to be able to do trap or track in the forest.
Do you ask to see who the trackers are?
Yes.
Okay. So if you ask Ragdar about it, he just kind of looks at you and just kind of goes, "If you want to speak to trackers, go to Tracker's Hut. It will be on the edge of town, right outside." And he scribbles something down for you and hands it to you, and he goes, "Give them this. Hopefully they don't kill you."
Oh dear.
I think to myself, yeah, I go. I think to myself, would be the first time I fought an orc. Except for this time, I'll probably be outnumbered, but I'm not gonna try to make waves. Try.
You'd probably say that in dwarf, and they probably wouldn't understand you anyways.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't understand them in orc because I don't speak orc. But I head over. I attempt to find the tracker's hut.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. You don't even need to roll. You have directions, and it's pretty easy to find. Even with Ragdar's scribbling, it's pretty easy to see where it is. So you get there, and when you get there, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay. Am I adding anything?
No, just give me a d20.
I rolled a 4.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a 4, you said?
Yeah. But what trap did I walk into? Though I do have trap making.
So you get to there, and you see 3 arrows hit the floor in front of you, and you see a single orc standing out front, just kind of eyeing you up and down. Do you do anything?
I hold out the scroll. I'm assuming it's an orcish that I can't read.
Yeah, it's completely orcish.
So yeah. I don't move past the arrows, because I know that's stupid. And I hold it out, so one of them can come and hopefully read it, if they're literate.
So a couple minutes go by, and the orc kind of just looks at you for a while, and
I look
literally
back.
he literally doesn't move. And after about standing there for 5 minutes, you hear him yell something in orc, and you see another orc come to his side. And he points to you, he points to him, and then they sit there and kind of like argue for what seems like a good 5 minutes. And then finally one of them just kind of, like the one that he's arguing with, just kind of like throws up his hands and walks over to you.
I hand him the scroll.
So, as this massive orc gets in front of you, he says something in orc to you. You just hear like, Urigai, Nyamaga. And he just, like, waves his hand.
Common? No common?
He just looks at you and just waves his hand like he wants the paper.
Yeah, I hand it over. But as I'm handing it over, I ask, common?
He doesn't say anything.
Okay.
So a couple minutes go by. He reads it. He seems kind of unhappy by whatever he reads. And then he just kind of like lets out this very loud sigh and walks back. And he takes a couple steps forward, looks at you, and then like kind of like yells something at you. You're not sure what it is, but there's a wave with it that looks like follow me.
Yep. I follow.
Okay. So you follow him. As you follow him, he brings you over to this hut, more or less, and it is very much a hut. There's probably more to this, honestly, at one point, but it looks like it was damaged very heavily at some point, and they've just kind of made do. And he opens up the front door and lets you in.
All right. I enter. I make sure that there are no traps.
I mean, if they wanted to trap you, don't think they would.
That's fair. I walk in.
All right, so you see that there are probably like 2 or 3 orcs in here, and most of them look up at you in disbelief, you can tell, and one of them immediately yells something in orc, and the other one kind of like holds up the paper, and they all kind of just like roll their eyes and seem pissed off. And one of them stands up and walks over to you, and roll a D100 for me.
I'm good at these. 93.
Okay. He looks at you for a second, and surprisingly, he speaks in Dwarven, and he kind of goes, "I assume you speak Dwarf."
Correct. I speak to dwarf to him back.
Okay.
I make no assumptions. Your chieftain sent me to assist.
I don't know how you will assist us.
I'm very skilled at traps. I've heard that you receive attacks.
We receive attacks from many creatures. Are you looking to help us with the creatures?
To help you defend your encampment? Yes.
How good of a... And he pauses for a second like he's thinking of the dwarven word. And he kind of goes... He says the incorrect word. He says, like, looker, are you? But you assume that he's trying to say, like, how good of a scout you are. He just says the incorrect word, and it translates as, how good of a looker are you?
Very skilled. I would give a brief description, I guess. And I would politely, without any malicious intent or to condescending, give him the correct word for scouting. So that way.
Diplomacy check.
In all respect.
Yep.
Oh wait, D20?
Yeah, roll diplomacy.
Okay. I don't have diplomacy.
I know.
I don't have charisma.
All dwarfs should get an extra -2 for diplomacy with orcs.
I
Because they're just their sworn enemy.
For some reason, I rolled another D100 and it was 94, but you're asking me to roll a D20.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
He kind of scowls at you a little bit and just kind of goes and he says something in orc, kind of under his breath. And he kind of goes, "Are you any good with," and he kind of thinks of the word again. And he points to his weapon, which he pulls out a giant bow. He kind of goes, "Are you any good with this?"
I pull out Rockcross. I'm good with this.
He goes, "Good shot?"
Very good. Brought down a buck by myself the other day. got up
He kinda
to it within a few feet.
He kind of like nods his head. He goes, "Good." He goes, I want you to come with, and he points to himself, and he seems to forget the word for me. He goes, I want you to come with, and he points to himself, and others. We are going to go scout out nearby camp.
Camp of creatures that you fight?
It is a clan of, and he thinks of the word for a bit, and he kind of goes,
Yeah, I'd just give that a second.
Your dog is the loudest drinker.
And the messiest.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
I actually did not hear it this time.
I
Oh,
could.
great.
Kind of goes, camp of, and he makes, he kind of holds out his hands and he makes like fangs with them, and he kind of goes of wolf people.
Oh. Would I know anything about wolf people?
Do you have knowledge nature?
Do I look like a fucking druid?
Then no.
What? I thought you had some.
I have
You have a +2 from survival.
knowledge dungeoneering. Bro. That's about it.
But you do have a +2 on knowledge nature from having survival.
Could I attempt to make a roll for that?
If you don't have knowledge nature, you're not going to make the check.
No.
Okay. Sounds interesting. They might make great pelts.
When you say that, he kind of looks at you, and you seem kind of like, he kind of gets a weird face about it and kind of goes like, I guess I wouldn't wear them?
To each their own?
He just shrugs. Ready to go?
Ready when you are. I also translate into dwarf. Would you like to forage while we make our way for your encampment and for your people?
He says yes to that, but he says also that it's just whatever game we find on the way, more or less words. He just says, if we find game, we hunt, but that's not the purpose of this mission. Purpose of this mission is to find camp.
Understood.
So, all right. All right. So, Thera, you head out with the orcs. You notice that you have a small group. There's about 4 of you total. That's you included. So there's 3 orcs with you, and 2 of them appear to be very heavy, obviously rangers. They have these massive bows, and they do carry melee weapons, but not really. They're obviously trained in like tracking and hunting and stuff like that. The other one that travels with you, though, is like this big hulking orc that has like a giant battle axe, and he seems very like ready to go. Like he's ready to kill somebody.
Before I left the tent with the chieftain, was I able to get my axe and shield?
Yeah, he gave them back to you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I never handed Rockcross over. I just put him in the quiver of Alona. I wasn't giving that up.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So, I mentally think either way, try not to do something stupid, because this would be a terrible way to die.
3 angry orcs. Yeah.
I mean, I could run, but there's a few rangers, so they could probably try to attempt to find me.
Outrun you.
Not if
Orcs
I
don't
go.
run that fast.
Not if I go invisible first.
That is true. You have that one bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you head out.
And I have a potion of pass without a trace,
True. You'd be very hard to track.
but for a little while.
You guys, you head out with the orc scouting group.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. Now, Josh and Ez, you guys spend the whole day working. at some point, very late in the day, the orcs appear to get kind of like tired, like they're kind of done. And the bigger of the two orcs walks up to you and just kind of goes, "You work still?"
No stranger to long nights.
Okay. He kind of goes, and he points to the other orc.
Oh, just like nod.
He points to the other orc and kind of goes, he says something in orc to him, and the other orc kind of like throws up his hands like, "What the fuck?" And he goes like, "Bruh," and they argue in orc for a minute, and the other one kind of just like, and the bigger orc leaves. And you notice the other orc goes and like sits in the corner and just like begrudgingly sits there.
Basically keeping an eye on us.
Seems like it.
After like an hour, I pull out some deer meat, and I hand it over to the orc.
Is it cooked?
Yeah. Would it have been cooked? Or no, while we're forging, I'll like, since it's a
Like,
big.
we got a fire right
We
now.
got a fire right there, so I'll cook some of it. Like
He kind of like, when you start cooking, he's just kind of like,
I pull out like several pounds.
he just kind of like gets even grumpier. He's like,
I point. I go like, and I point to it and I go thumbs up. You thumbs up.
Thumbs up is universal.
And he kinda goes like, "Ruh,
And then I pull out like another piece and I put it on.
ruh." He seems happy about that.
Thumbs up is universal for any race and language.
Oh, and I just thought about it. To speed up the process on some of the more like fucked up ones that I'm trying to fix, I just do a make whole or mending.
Yeah,
to
sure.
Do the initial process too.
Yeah, sure thing. So, you give him a couple of slices of deer meat, and he seems like really happy about that, and he just eats it up like super fast, and he sits there for a second, and you notice after like, how many pounds of deer meat do you give him?
Up 2 pounds. Or I offer him up to 2 pounds. Like,
He fucking whatever you give him,
Yeah.
he eats.
yeah.
All right, so he just eats all of it, and you notice after sitting there for like 30 minutes after you give him all this deer meat, he just kind of like he's out, like gone.
Even though this one's like clanging.
Yeah, no, he's out, like just fucking out of it.
It's Trevor as an orc.
Ha!
Full belly, go to sleep, nothing's waking him up.
Well, I mean, I guess if we want to leave, we could now. Do you want to go check out that back room?
Not gonna push my luck.
Fair. I'm just saying, it's an option.
Do you want to go check out the work that they brought from the back?
Yeah, I'd check out some of it just to see like if it looks like it was magically done, if it was.
Roll your craft check.
Which one of you fuckers do I trust? 23.
Okay. So you can tell that whatever is going on back there, it's not whatever's going on up here. The hammer strikes are different. Something back there is fixing stuff, but not how they're fixing shit up here. Like it's completely different hammers. Like the hammers that the orcs use are fucking big beastly things. The hammer, whatever fixed these, way more of a solid. Like whatever this is, obviously very higher quality.
It looks more like something I would be using.
Not necessarily you, but definitely more high quality.
Yeah, I want to look, but I'm not gonna push it yet. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Like I'll ask, but yeah, for now I'm just gonna keep trucking along.
Okay. And John, you gonna do anything?
I continue helping.
Okay. You just continue helping. Yeah, the orc that's supposed to be watching you, he's out like a light. Like, and whenever you guys are ready to leave, like you can just wake him up. Like,
Yeah, that's what we'll probably do.
Thera, you spend the rest of the day traveling, and by night's end, you guys look like the orcs had actually caught what looks to be like 2 badgers, and they cook it up and they give you a little bit of their badger meat, although not enough to sate your belly, but it's something.
Would I be able to also help catch some some game along the way?
Sure, roll a single d20 roll plus your survival.
Okay. Let me see what I can get. What's my survival? Ooh, big money, no whammies. Ooh, 25.
Okay. So you are able to catch a, let's just say some small game, like a couple rabbits or something like that, if you want to add to the pot.
Okay. I share with them as well.
Okay. They seem very happy about that, and they share a little bit more badger meat with you after you contribute. And for the most part, you guys just travel the rest of the day. It's not like a whole day's travel. It's like maybe like a third of a day's travel that you travel with these guys. And the one that speaks dwarf tells you, like, tomorrow morning we should be where we need to be.
Understood. I realized it was rude of me. I have never introduced myself. I'm Theodred.
He kind of goes, that's nice. And he walks back over to his camp.
Okay. I think to myself, I say to myself in common, how can Vera and Gar be so talkative and make it look so easy? I will just sleep in my armor, and I offer if we need to take watches in dwarf.
They say that they will take you up on that offer if you want to take the first watch of the night.
Yeah. I prefer the first watch usually.
Can you roll a listen and spot check for me?
Of course. Listen and spot. Okay, so 15 for my listen. Spot is 24.
Okay. You don't see anything, but the night goes well. You get relieved, and then you sleep throughout the night pretty soundly. Jessica. So you travel the rest of the day with Vosh and
Nash.
Yeah, Nash and Vosh. And they are not talkative. They just kind of do their job. But you guys make really good headway, and you realize these guys obviously know what they're doing because you guys aren't like running into anything, really clear trails. You do see that there are a couple of orcs that they talk to on the way, but you're not sure about what. Leovar tells you later that they were talking about like troop movement and like frontline stuff, but he was just like, I didn't hear all of it. I was just kind of picking up what I could.
Fair.
I didn't want to be too obvious.
Yeah, let's not piss off the people who are so...
Ready to be pissed off? Yeah, no, I'm all for
Yeah.
it. All right, so next day, you guys all wake up again, alive and breathing.
Goodness.
Who would we like to start with the next day? This will be Primera, third week, as a rule.
I guess we can just start with us because we'll just be hammering away again. Does the orc?
You guys can also get more information. Just saying.
Okay, so we'll start with Basgrim and John. So you guys go back to the blacksmith.
Yep.
Yep.
Do we get like lead there?
So when you guys leave for that night, the orc that was in charge of you basically shows you to like a little hut. Maybe this is the guest quarters or someone who recently died. Don't know. It smells terribly, but there's one big bed and then there's like a smaller bed. You assume this is for like a dog because it smells awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a table. There's a place to wash your hands in dirty water. There's a bed with... I mean, you assume it's a bed. You can sleep.
I like flip the.
I have create water. Don't worry.
The small bed. I'll like flip upside down, I guess.
So when you flip it upside down, you can see that the bottom is like this has been. It's like a collection of like furs and old stuff, and when you flip it up like upside down, you can see there's like ants in it, and it's kind of gross.
So it's like worse. So I just leave it. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I just say screw
Do you
it.
have
and
prestidigitation?
Well, I'll just say screw. I do, but I'll just say screw
You
it
can
and
use
I'll.
prestidigitation to clear it off.
Okay, yeah. Gnomish prestidigitation.
It's better. It's not great, but you know.
I'm still gonna sleep in my bedroll.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, just throw the bedroll over it.
Yeah.
You could just use the bed.
Well, you can just have the bed. You're the bigger one.
Not like we're both the size of an orc. We can share the bed.
Oh, fair. Okay, if you're willing to do that. And then you just like hop up on the bed.
Okay.
Get
So you
the
guys-
snuggles on.
Supper.
All right, so you guys sleep in the bed. Next morning, you wake up. Go back to the blacksmith.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So the next day, you get at the blacksmith. The same two orcs are there, except the smaller of the two orcs seems kind of happy to see you guys. And when you get there in the morning, he kind of looks at you and he hands you 2 rabbits.
This is the one that I fed.
Yes.
Okay. Haha. And I like nod my head at him, like, thank you.
He walks in.
Okay, well,
You guys get to working.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Okay.
maybe 1 or 2 in. I'd like gesture to the finished work that came out the back if it's still there. Like good quality.
He kind of nods his head. Yeah.
Your work,
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
And then I'll just keep going.
He
Huh?
goes back to work.
oh, we see him working with us too, or he's just watching us.
Both the orcs are working.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just when they left the other night, the big one left, and the big one told the littler one, like, you have to watch them.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
All right. So you guys just work away.
Pretty much.
So
Okay.
they're working out in the front area. They're not in that back area.
No, they disappear to the back area every once in a while,
Oh.
but they don't stay back there. They only stay back there for maybe like an hour or 30 minutes, and then they come back.
Okay.
However, both of you roll a spot check.
No.
7.
Okay,
One.
don't worry about it.
I see nothing.
Alrighty then. Who do we want to go with next?
Vera?
Not everybody jump up at one time.
Would you like me to go next, Jess?
Go for it.
All
We can
right.
just keep in the same cycle.
Okay. So, Thera, next morning you wake up, the orcs wake you up, and the one that speaks dwarf kind of looks at you and just kind of goes, "We go now."
All right. I'm assuming it's the ass crack of dawn.
It is the crack ass of dawn.
Okay. I figure as we're going along the way, I would point out, useful herbs and shrubbery and shit that
Do
is
you have knowledge nature?
no.
Then you cannot do that effectively.
Fuck. Right, because
I mean, you could. You just be a dick about it. Be like, "That plant's good for you," and they look at you. No, it's not.
well,
Well, that plant's good for you. That one gives you shits.
never mind. Go with tracking, just not go with herbs. Apparently, I can get it.
So, you travel for maybe like an hour. It's not that far. However, you notice at one point the half of the orcs get kind of like weirded out. Like, you notice they start to like look around. Do you want to make a spot or a listen check?
Sure, I'll do both. For spot, it is going to be a 19. For a listen, it's going to be 25.
So, You don't hear anything, and you don't see anything, but you can obviously tell that the orcs are, like, kind of...
On edge.
Like, something's going on. Like, you notice, like, they stop, and then one of them kind of, like, goes off somewhere, and then they start speaking in orc, kind of, like... You can tell kind of, like, in, like, a heightened, concerned kind of voice. So...
What's going on? I say to the one that speaks orcish or dwarvish.
So, when you say that, that one turns around and he kind of looks at you and he kind of goes, "We should have people here. No one from camp here.
You mean your people are gone?
Not our people, other people.
The ones that we hunt, the wolf people?
The wolf people should be here. They are not."
Is this one of their normal holdups, or is this something?
This is. He tries to think of the word, and he kind of goes, and he kind of makes a hand gesture for like his fingers lacing, and he kind of goes, "Point of meat."
And
should be scout here.
I see if I can find any tracks of anything.
Roll survival check.
Okay, I can do that.
And you can see them. They are also looking around.
I'm going to use my metal one because I feel like this is heavy. Ooh, okay. Cool. For survival, that's going to be 21.
Okay. So you can tell that the last tracks through here were pretty long ago. At least like a few days. So obviously no one's been through here at least recently.
Mm-hmm.
He as you're doing that, he looks at you and kind of goes, "Come with me. We scout forward."
Understood.
Go ahead and make a move silently and hide check for me.
Okay. Alright, move silently. I rolled a nat 20 for 38 in total.
Okay.
And hide.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm glad I still have high ranks in that because that roll was pretty shit. 24 in total.
Okay, so you move forward with this guy, and you're obviously much better at this than this guy, because he makes a bit of noise, and his hiding isn't quite as good as yours, but it's not terrible, it's just not great. Yours is just, like, next level compared to his. And you travel for a good, like, 30 minutes. When you travel for 30 minutes, you can see that there's in front of you, after traveling for 30 minutes, you can see what looks to be 3 ropes holding what look to be these kind of wolf-like people, but they have kind of like the hind legs of wolves, but they have hands, and they have these big gaping kind of like maws and eyes. They kind of look like hyena people. You've never seen them before, but you've heard of these creatures in the Underdark every once in a blue moon called gnolls.
Ah. Okay. Are they dead?
Oh yeah, no, they're totally dead. They're hung up by ropes with their arms kind of strapped up, and you can tell each one has several very, very deep arrow wounds in them with these huge arrows sticking out of them. Arrows that you've...
Have I seen before from the Green Forest lady?
Green Forest? No, like they aren't that big. They aren't like giant big, but they are quite large.
Gnolls. I say in dwarf.
Again, it goes... He repeats it back in dwarf. Gnolls.
Mm-hmm. Never encountered them myself, but I've heard about them.
He says in dwarf, local tribe we trade with.
Did they have any enemies?
They were dealing with creatures as we were. but smaller tribe.
I suggest to him, would your chieftain take in the gnolls to help better protect them? Your friend or other tribe?
Don't know. We need to check. He starts moving forward.
Should we inspect them? Lay them to rest?
Dead is dead. He keeps walking.
I follow.
Okay. So you travel a couple more minutes and you come to the edge of what looks to be probably a small, like, encampment of what these creatures probably were.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like half a dozen huts and a very rudimentary wall around part of their encampment. However, it's dead silent in here. And with a quick spot check, go ahead and make a spot check for me.
Let's see. 19.
You can see that there are arrows, these large arrows sticking out of the roofs of these huts, and it is eerily quiet. There's like no sound except for a small crackling fire that's making any noise.
I point to him. I'll inspect this way, you inspect the other way. We meet.
Kind of goes, we go back, get members all together.
I follow your lead.
So you guys kind of retreat back, and you find the other orcs. He seems to have a short conversation with them, and they nod and seems to have come to some sort of agreement. And then he walks back to you, and he kind of goes, we go way that we found. They are going in from alternate route. That way we have cover.
Understood.
Okay. So you head towards, you guys get back to the area, and when you get to the edge, he kind of like nods and starts to make his way into what looks to be this small kind of camp of huts and such. Do you follow?
Yes.
Give me one moment. I have to draw out the map.
Oh dear. Battle.
Dun dun dun.
Battle time, guys.
Don't die. Dying is bad for your health.
Dying is indeed bad for your health.
All right. So, as you come out of the forest and start to get near this encampment, you can start to hear this loud munching sound as you get closer. You can see that there are quite a few gnoll bodies littered around the place. However, some of them seem eaten. And you manage to... Can you roll a hide and move silently for me real quick? What'd you get, Brina?
For the first one, 18, 19, 26 for the first one. And then somehow for my... that was for my hide. My move silently is 36.
Okay, so you managed to sneak up to this tent over here. And as you peer out from the tent, you can see that all those red X's that are marked, those are gnoll bodies. You can see that in the center there looks to be what is an old fire pit that still is crackling with some life to it, although it's pretty much dead. But you can see a giant wolf, like the biggest wolf that you've ever seen, is steadily eating away at these bodies. It doesn't appear to have seen you yet, however, so if you want to, you could get the jump on it.
Do I have a clean shot?
You're not within 30 feet yet, but you could be if you want to try to move silently a little bit closer.
I whisper to the orc in Dwarven, I'm going to get closer to get a clean shot off one of it.
He nods and he kind of goes, I cover you.
Okay. Keep your eyes on me, and then I go invisible. And then
he kind of just like looks around.
And then I sneak, wander over yonder, to the square as silently as my little roguishly self can.
Like, where do you want to aim for?
If you want to get within 30 feet, you have to get to... You'd have to get to right beside that dead body.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's do some bad ideas. I've fought enough of these puppies. Alright. And hope I get
You have the drop round if you so choose to shoot, and you will get your sneak attack for this round.
Yay! Because I get 3d6. Alright. Let's not fuck this up, Rena. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
And see, this is why we must be rated for adults.
I gotta. Yeah, I made too many of the bad jokes. I got a
It's just
30.
copying that really bad meme. Don't be suspicious.
Suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. 30.
Yeah, you hit it.
Yeah. All right. I get.
All of your attacks?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's just for the first hit.
Oh.
Okay.
Like, I haven't added anything, bro. Come, hang on. Do I get this entire round? Do I get that?
What?
Like the sneaky sneaks? The sneak snakes?
So technically, the way that sneak attack works, when you get the drop round, every arrow gets sneak attack against the target.
Sweet niblets. Guys, I try to get sneak attack off, but it doesn't always happen. Or try to get within a perceptible range, but it doesn't happen. Let's see. Though, we can do it now.
These rolls go. That's what determines it.
Okay. So, I'm gonna do the maths and hope I don't fuck up the maths. Okay. Which one are we gonna roll? We're gonna roll you. So, that is 6. Plus 4, that's 10 for the base. Hang on. And then plus the 3d6 for on top of that. Plus 4. So 23 for the first hit in total.
Damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then now we're gonna roll for the second hit.
Cool.
We go.
Jessica?
Okay, so 15 plus 17. Does a 32 hit, Dave?
Yes. No. 32 hits. A
Okay.
dire wolf.
Okay. It's a dire wolf. Oh
Dire
no.
wolf.
No, that seems pretty dire. 7 for the base plus
I need to get Law's shirt. Ask me about my stash.
plus plus
Oh no, wait. Doesn't say I must stash you a question.
6. Oh my god, that d6 for the prism glass one is so pretty. Alright, 20 damage for the second hit.
Okay.
And then we go attempt for the third hit.
Wait.
Oh wait, I only get 2 hits because
I was about to be like.
I don't
wait.
have haste. I do not have haste. I got a hasty on my own end.
Okay. Roll for initiative now.
Okay. Please, puppy, let me go first. I want to kill you. I got 19.
All right, you go first.
Yeah, let me kill the puppy.
More sneak attack.
I say down, boy. 29 to hit.
You hit.
That's an Inuyasha reference, just in case of you young children don't know.
I
Sit,
wasn't
boy.
I wasn't even going to register that.
I love it.
Oh,
Hate it.
too late. Okay, 14 damage for that hit.
It dies.
I reload my clip because that was my third shot.
Alright, so. Alright. So you kill this giant wolf very quickly, and before anything can happen, the orc kind of like, he has his bow ready, drawn, and it drops, and he kind of goes like, puts his bow away, and he just kind of goes, you no need help.
No, I was here to assist you.
Yes, you're good shot. And he kind of goes, he points around, he kind of goes, see what you can find out, going to the search tent now.
Okay, what about your companions? Should we...
They'll get here soon enough.
Okay. I will go and search the closest tent.
So, can you just do me a favor and roll a search check? And after a few minutes, you're gonna hear the other orcs come in and they start searching around too. But just to speed up the process, I'm gonna say just one search check to search the whole area, and I'll give you what you find.
I got a 25 from my search.
Okay. So, searching around the area, you can see that a lot of these bodies... Do you have a heal check, by the way?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not do it.
So you can see that a lot of these bodies look to have died from either what looks to be these very, very large, thick arrows, and they are fit for like a bow, like your size, like an actual longbow. However, they are quite a bit thicker and sturdier than normal arrows, and they don't appear to be of orc quality. So,
I don't have craft bow making, but can I tell like the craftsmanship?
no,
No.
you can just tell that they're definitely not orc. So,
Do they have that same insignia or style like that? I'm assuming Bosgrim might have pointed out.
again, you can't tell.
Okay. I'm gonna salvage one of them, keep it on me, see if I can have them do that when we get back to camp.
Yeah, you can take one. Roll me a D100 real quick though.
Awesome possum. All right. 66.
Okay, so you just salvage an arrow.
I also suggest wolf meat is very tender. It's a bit gammy, but it's tender.
They seem more focused on actually like figuring out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They do say like, yeah, when we're done, the guy tells you like, when done, we'll salvage, but first check out places. So you find that this small encampment seems to be like just what it seems like a small encampment. There was probably around maybe like no more than like 20 gnolls here at any given point. And it looks like they were struck down by these arrows. Some of them have, however, these kind of deep wounds, and not very many of them, but some of them do. But you can also see that some of them seem to be slightly discolored than the other ones. You're not sure exactly for why. And the orcs that are with you don't seem to know why either, at least from what they tell you. When you search the whole place over, there's like some battle axes, some armor, although a lot of it's damaged, and there's some gold to be found here. Through your searching, you find about 70 gold pieces worth of coinage. You can split that up however you want. It's not like actually 70 gold. It's like between like copper, silver, gold. No platinum, but you can divvy it up however you want. Just make sure it's not all gold.
Okay. Well, since it is like just a mix, I will give it to the orcs. I don't need it.
They kind of seem very happy about that. The guy kind of goes, thank you. And outside of that, you can see that there is a couple of buildings that stand out from the rest of the tent, from the tent structures. The tent structures are very much seem to be like homey type stuff. Very small, but like some beds, some living area things, but nothing really big and expensive. When you get to the buildings, however, they seem to be a bit more structured. Like they actually have like they're built and they are kind of well reinforced. However, you notice that on both the doors have been ripped off and destroyed, and inside there is a plethora of dead gnolls in here. However, you see that one or two, it looks like, are near this kind of altar, and this altar appears very, very godly, it seems like. So whatever this building was, it was probably of some significant importance to whatever they revere. And you can see this pile of bones that have been structured up to like probably like 2 feet, and it's all different sorts of bones. And then on a wooden, like a wooden kind of pike, there is a large, what looks to be wolf head skull, hung with several other adornments of other creatures, different bones, teeth, and whatnot. And you see that there are these black raven wings that have been obviously fitted and attached to this pole right behind the wolf head, and they appear to be taxidermied, so they're not gonna like fade away. And in the wolf head, you can see that there are 2 gems. These 2 gems seem to be very specifically placed, not directly where the eye sockets are, surprisingly. They are sort of more behind where like the skull cavity is, but they seem to be very specifically placed there, and there is a purple one and a black one. They aren't very expensive with what you know about gems. Do you want to make a stone cutting check real quick?
Sure. Let me see. That gives me +2. No, I guess. I don't actually. Would my improved stone cutting work with this?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. 21 in total.
So the first one appears to be some sort of purple crystal. It's probably not worth too much, maybe like 50 gold. And the other one appears to be a pure onyx stone, which is surprisingly, the quality seems pretty high. You could take it for like a good 70 gold if you wanted it.
No. I'm gonna leave it, because for some reason this is giving me like ominous dragon vibes. Am I getting like this was a shrine to like one of the evil dragons kind of feel?
That's up to you to interpret right now. I'm just telling you what you see. You can also see that all around in this building there are like different little, I would describe them as totems, up on the wall and hanging from the ceiling in little strings. They all hang about a couple feet higher than your head, but probably for a gnoll they would probably be just above their head. And you can see that there are old candles that have long since burned out, and right below all these bones you can definitely tell that there's like a blood-soaked patch of wood where obviously probably a lot of sacrificing went on. Do you wish to search the altar for anything, or?
Well, first off, I'm gonna search for traps, because you know, that's a thing I should do. Okay. So in total, I got 17.
You don't find any traps.
Okay. I look for anything that might be like a trap door, hidden.
Search for traps.
Okay. I wasn't sure if like trap door was different than like trap, like booby traps.
It's all traps.
Okay. I look for anything that's like out of place that doesn't seem to fit here, like that might have been left behind by somebody who came to attack.
Other than some nobodies with some very large arrows in them, not really anything.
Not my religion or my shrine, so I'm not gonna mess with someone else's shrine. I leave the crystals alone. I do see if I can, find any body that's still warm or any breathing ones.
Sure, make a listen check.
Okay. Listen. 9.
You don't know. You don't see anybody alive, and you don't hear anybody.
Okay. I asked the dwarf, do you know what
dwarf?
The one who speaks dwarf. I'm sorry. I asked the orc that speaks dwarf, do you know what religion they followed?
He kind of goes like, no. Ask Mystic back at camp. Maybe she know.
The chieftain's sister?
Yes.
I don't believe I should defile their shrine, or else it would take the gems from the eyes so she could inspect them. I don't believe it's... My ways is not one other's ways. It's not
the
for me.
The orc kind of shakes his head. He kind of goes, I'm not going to mess with Alter.
Yeah,
this
no.
is bad omen.
Bad omen. You're the bad omen. You bad omen. I miss that fucking bear. Oh,
I
can't
don't
we...
really. Please, no. Don't.
You did that to yourself.
Jess, can one of your summons
that-
be that bear?
I just happened to ask.
Can one of your summons, just by random chance, a D100, be Bad Omen Bear?
It's not a fey
Oh
bear.
my
She doesn't
God.
summon fey bears.
No, but it's just like when a random D100, sometimes it fucking happens. Dave has to decide,
This
okay.
really bad, this really mad, upset bear just kind of goes like, looks at the gnome, kind of goes like, bad omen. We've never met before. I feel like we have.
I want to be friends with the bear and
No.
bring him to the bear bar.
No.
That would be a Bad Omen. I miss that bear. Alright. Did the other orcs roll up?
Yeah, no, they've been searching around too, but
I asked what they find.
they just tell you they found more dead bodies, lots with wounds, arrow wounds in particular, but it doesn't look like anybody made it out alive.
I know that they were not your tribe, but they were allies, so I'm sorry for their fallen.
More bad news for us, because they were at least outlier, but now we don't know what killed them. Not good. Get back to town. And he starts to head out.
I would ask if one of them carried the wolf. Good meat.
So you can see like two of them chopped off like a leg, and they carry that, but outside of that, they don't seem to want to spend the whole time to like gut fillet and everything else like that. They just take a leg.
That's right. Alright. Yeah. I follow suit. Because I'm not going to touch that altar.
Okay.
I've been around enough people to know that, and have my own religion to know that disrespecting an altar is bad juju.
All right. Jess, that leaves you.
All right.
So, you travel for the rest of the day, and it's a long day, but by probably like 6 p.m. you get back to town. The orcs leave you well beyond the tree line, and they just kind of tell you.
Shoo us off.
Yeah. They say they'll wait for a day, but if you're longer than that, then they're going to go back and you'll be on your own.
I just kind of like look at Leovar as we're walking back. What time of day is 6? So it's
late.
Evening?
Yeah.
Kind
6,
of
7.
dark. Okay. I just kind of like look at Leovar and look towards the town. So straight to Leoril?
Yeah. I mean, where else would we go?
I don't think anywhere else. I don't want to run into any guards.
We're gonna have to run into guards. He points at the front gate.
Fair. Rule then, rather, because she's going to ask questions where we've been.
Yeah. She might be at the front gate.
You're not instilling a lot of hope in me.
Oh, I'm supposed to be that guy right now?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what this banter.
Well, if she's at the front gate, we can run really fast.
Barry just kind of like rubs her face. Ugh. Let's just go quickly. Okay. And I just like walk a little bit quicker.
Okay, so you get to the front gate. The guards kind of look down at you. Roll D100.
Fuck! David! Ah!
Don't match his roll.
92.
So Rule looks down, kind of goes like, well, long time no see. I just happened to be here.
Give me 1 second. David, why? Why was it a 10% chance and I got the upper 10% chance? I don't know how to talk my way out of this one. Oh, fuck. I had not prepared for this mentally. Good God. I raise a hand and I wave. We've been,
Let's open up the gate. We'll get you inside.
Thank you. We've just been discovering a bunch of different things in the forest.
Okay, so you get inside. Rule's right there with a couple of different guards.
Yeah.
Kind of goes like, so fill me in.
So...
What is going on?
A lot of shenanigans.
I forget, did you tell her you were leaving?
No, we did not.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, no,
we did not.
Kind of goes,
Purposely did not.
I know. She kind of goes, first you guys asked for the blacksmith to be open, and then you guys leave, and you've been gone for like 6 days now.
Oh, has it been 6 days?
Yeah. What is going on?
Okay, I traveled with a day and a half. Me and Leovar traveled for like a day and a half, so I would have discussed with him if we do get questioned, like, who are we going to tell the truth? Who are we going to lie to? Like, blah, 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 blah.
Leovar would have said, your discretion. Since we didn't actually have this talk. I don't know. We're going to default to, you're in charge. Because Leovar's not also good at lying. You have the better chance between the two.
I am not.
What's your charisma bonus?
It's a +4.
Okay, you know what Leovar has?
None.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. He has a +1.
He's a pretty boy. Vera just kind of like rubs like between her eyes.
Rolling the D100 for me.
Okay. 21.
21. So around that time, Leo Rill comes out. And
I need more alcohol for this.
And Rule, while she's like trying to get what's going on out of you, Leo Rill kind of goes like, Rule, I need to see what they have been up to. And Rule kind of goes like, I also need to know what's going on. They've been gone for 6 days and they didn't tell me anything. And she kind of goes like, you're absolutely correct, but I told you, and technically I'm in charge of them, so, and technically I'm part of the house, so I need them to fill me in before they tell you anything. So come with me. And she just waves you two both over.
I kind of like give Rule a shrug and I go scurry after Rule. And I owe this woman a very fine bottle of wine. Very, very fine. Or whatever she drinks or eats. Whatever she wants. She gets it.
Yeah. Leovar just kind of like, before you leave, he kind of goes like, sorry, I got to report to the boss. And he just kind of like follows after. Lil Real kind of goes like, come with me. And she just walks off.
I just follow. No question.
So you get to the mayor's house, and when you get into the mayor's house, the stand-in mayor kind of goes like, hello, I would like to, and she kind of like puts up one finger. She kind of goes, I need to talk to them. Please find yourself somewhere else. And she walks off. When you get to her room, you notice that there are 2 of the house guards there, not like the normal guards. Like she's taken 2 of the guards that
like
came
the
with
soldiers.
you. Yeah, to guard near her room. Now you don't know why, but they're there, and she kind of like moves herself between them and opens up the door, and you notice that she's actually switched rooms to a bigger room now.
Okay.
So she has more space and her stuff's in there. It looks like this was a library of sorts.
Fancy. Probably better soundproofing too. All the books.
So she shuts the door behind her, and she kind of goes like, well, you got lucky.
I got very lucky.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
did.
for being there. Vera just kind of like...
You see Django's in there, and he kind of goes like, yo.
Oh, thank God you're in here too.
And Daniel?
Dylan.
I'll get it right one of these days. Dylan.
Some D name.
Yeah, Dylan's in there, and he's like, hi. And
Hi.
Literal just kind of goes like, hi.
All right. Vera rubs her face. I owe
She kind
you.
of goes, Django, can you make him scarce? And he goes, yeah. Hey, Dylan, go get us food. And he kind of goes like, okay, can I get the good food? I don't care, go. And he just runs out.
There's a lot to update you on.
Yeah, I imagine so.
The door's locked, right? Or I mean,
No,
like
I keep
the
doors open. Come on.
As a character before. So
The door is closed.
yeah,
Whether it's locked or not, you're not sure.
that doesn't matter. We found the orcs.
Kind of goes, all right, give me an update on that. And she pulls out her book.
It seems that their chieftain also went missing at the same time the mayor did. And it seems they went missing together because they had been conversing and going off on... I don't know what to describe it as besides adventures with one another. And they actually went further northeast than the orc encampment. The orc encampment has been attacking the city because they believe the city is the reason that their chieftain went missing, and they blame the city. So, yeah.
She kind of like stops writing for a second. Why in the hell?
Because of the mayor.
No, I know, but why is the mayor?
I'm not sure. There is...
She interrupts you immediately. Kind of goes, you guys are staying here tonight, correct?
Yeah, we can.
Good. Leovar, she pulls out a key. She kind of goes like, I want you to get into the mayor's room, and I want you to search it tonight. And he kind of goes like, me? I don't. What are you? I don't. And she kind of goes like, she just stands there like blank-faced.
Don't play dumb. I elbow him in the ribs slightly.
Okay. He just kind of goes like,
Thank you.
I'm going to keep what I find, though. She kind of goes, just see if you can find some sort of diary or something that catalogs what the hell's going on. He kind of goes, I've been trying to get into the mayor's office for a couple days now, and they won't let me. So I don't know what's going on with that, and I don't like that. And thus why I moved in here with some guards, because I don't like what I'm finding out, at least what little I can find out here.
I have been getting...
You know, it's a good thing that you brought us along.
Yes, I don't know what we would have done without you and...
Probably swim, drown.
Most likely. Most likely. We definitely wouldn't have gotten to the root of the issue, which seems to be internal affairs in the city itself.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It leaves me uncomfortable. Which is
It
odd.
just doesn't make any sense. It kind of goes like, the town is semi-prosperous and has at least good defenses on it. That's why we have so few guards staffed here, at least on the up and up, because if anything does happen, the road's supposed to be safe. But with the road not being safe and the mayor acting the way that they were and working with what you're saying are orcs, we're missing something here, and it bugs me.
The orcs, from the time that we spent conversing with them, the two stand-in leaders are his daughter and his son.
Oh, good.
His son is a barbarian and much less willing to talk, but his daughter seems to be some kind of oracle or shaman, and she really just wants her father and the chieftain back, and she seems more amicable to speaking, at least.
We can't guarantee that.
No, I know that as well, but it seems like they are fighting on a battle of two fronts. One, trying to get their chieftain back, thinking that it's the human and elf city. And two, there's a strange creature that they were telling us about that the forest itself summons to protect itself. And it creates and summons...
What's it called?
A Merilith?
No.
Markadon.
Markadon?
Yeah, it's called a Markadon.
It's called a Markadon.
Kind of sits there for a minute and kind of goes like...
I'm not sure. That was the word that they told me. It could be an orcish tongue. I'm not sure if it...
They're actually using the correct word, which is weird, but I've only heard of them in legend, and even that's very sparse.
Well, apparently that's what they're dealing with in what they call the Heartwood.
I don't know where that is. Kind of goes, okay.
We have a rudimentary understanding of where the Heartwood is. However, in order to get there to try to solve that problem, we need the cores from the creatures that the what's it called again?
Markadon.
That the Markadon creates, and the purple musk is one of those
one
creatures.
such creature. That makes sense. Okay.
So
She kind of goes like, I still have it. She pulls it out. Kind of goes.
What we
She
were
gives it
talking,
to you.
and I'll take it. Thank you. Our rough plan for right now is try to figure out more. Try to figure out this creature and the situation up there, because they...
Can you tell them to stop attacking the town?
That's what we're telling them. And we're trying to gain their trust that the city won't... The city's not where the chieftain went missing. That's...
We can't let them in here.
Exactly. No. So we're trying to gain their trust, doing what we can, helping them set traps for the strange creatures out there that they're having to defend themselves from. So with that, hopefully the attacks will stop and things will be able to calm down, and we can actually find out what the real problem is.
So, counter plan.
Okay.
You said these creatures are attacking them, right?
Yes.
Do you know how strong the orc defenses are?
They're wasting most of their resources trying to attack the city. That's also why we were trying. They're fighting a split force.
No, I know that. But that's
I don't know exactly.
Well, what if you weaken their defenses?
Might I ask why? What's your train of thinking with weakening?
We've had an orc problem in this area for ages. If you weaken their defenses and these creatures take out the orcs,
then they go straight for the humans, or the human and elf city.
Well, then we deal with the Markadon afterwards.
I unfortunately am not. I don't want to kill a whole city of people that includes women and children, even if they're orcs, because they're causing a problem that is from from a misunderstanding.
Well, I mean, they've been attacking the town for a very long time. It might be a miscommunication now, but down the line they will eventually raid the town again. And they've killed women and children on this side.
So we want to...
I'm just saying it's an option.
After talking to them, I couldn't personally participate in something like that. And
okay,
I don't
so
think
what happens if, and just take this however you want, what happens if we can't find the father?
If that...
And the barbarian, you said he was a barbarian and very aggressive. What if he takes over the clan and then starts sending armies down here after we clear out the whole problem of attacking on two fronts?
His sister seems just as strong as him.
Okay, but what if he takes over and that happens?
then we deal with that when it comes.
Can
And
we deal with that? You said that it was quite a big front, and that we're already dealing with.
I said that they weren't very strong.
They're strong enough to where we're having a problem now behind our walls. And if they're dealing with two fronts, as you said, if those forces get let up and they're able to press the frontier, that could be a very major problem. Especially if we don't give him what he wants. I'm just saying, it's something to consider. Whether or not you want to do it, that's fine by me. But I'm just throwing the opportunity out there and the idea.
I mean,
because this could become a very real problem.
And it could
And
be.
I don't want the only real town that my town is, or that my house is a part of, to lose it.
Well, how about this? I am uncomfortable with that plan right now, but I will keep it in the back of my mind. And if something seems to be going south or not amiable, then I will shift the tide and shift what we need to do.
Okay.
But until... My big thing is I trust the orcs almost more than I trust the city right now, because I can't trust what anyone says in the city.
Do you trust me?
That's why you are the only person I talk to here.
Okay. So, I'm in charge of this city, for all intents and purposes, for the current time being.
Yes.
So, trust me when I say this. Whatever's going on, we can fix it. But I can't deal with an orc army that's pissed off at my doorstep with only 20 soldiers.
Then why can't you get into the mayor's room?
Because I don't want to start a whole revolt inside the walls.
From the city towards you?
Look, there are about 30 to 40 guards out there that trust that mayor.
Yeah.
That shitty mayor.
And
right?
I can
And I got
tell.
20 soldiers that trust me.
Yes.
I don't want it to come down to a whole fight between what's right and what's wrong.
The orcs will tell me if they don't trust me. No one here will tell me if they don't trust me.
I'm telling you, I trust you.
Yes, no, but I can tell.
Do you trust every orc over there?
I haven't talked to every orc over there.
That's my point. There are people in here that you can trust. Okay. It's not the point. Whether you trust them or not, just realize they are a force of raiders, essentially. And if we don't deliver what they want, they could very easily turn that force against us. And even with you guys here, a bunch of really pissed off orcs, not a good combo. Especially for a town that's running low on resources and water.
True.
So, just keep that in the back of your mind.
I will.
So, regardless, you have the core now.
Yes.
I assume that you are staying for the night.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
stay and we'll leave tomorrow.
I can't keep rule off you the whole time, and if the new mayor comes to knocking, I can keep him delayed as much as I can, but
I'm just not a good bluff. I'm good at diplomacy, but
I can deal, like I said, as long as you're in here, I can keep them delayed, but you'll have to leave early tomorrow morning.
Would we be able to stay in here?
Yeah, it's no problem.
All right, then that should be fine. I mean, if anything, I can just cast a spell and me and Leovar can make ourselves scarce. So.
Okay. Is there anything else that I need to know?
We did find a lot of strange things in the forest. Nothing that is pressing right now, but I do think it's warranted that there is a very strangely armored man south of the orc encampment, and Garskorjon said that he was wearing Skryklik's armor.
Like Strikelik's Empire armor?
I think that's what he said.
Huh? It's like hundreds of years old at this point.
We didn't mess with him. He seemed non-aggressive, but when
She opens up her book and seems to
Thera
take down notes.
snuck up on him, we could tell he was not one to be trifled with because he pinned her very quickly, and so we just thanked him for his time. He didn't have a lot of information. He just talked to us, and we just left. But that's out there.
Noted. She writes that down. Anything else?
I give her the Book of Wines. I don't know if you want this. It's magically sealed, and it's some kind of elven wine book from a cellar, well, from the Good Hill out towards the east.
She looks at it for a second and kind of goes like,
It's got an arcane lock on it, and only readable by Elven.
aren't you an elf?
Yeah, but I can't open it.
Why can't you open
I can't figure it out.
it? You can't figure out how to open up an elven magical book?
I haven't tried that much. I've been dealing with more pressing matters.
Why don't you try to open the elven magical book?
What was the issue that I had with this thing again?
You had tried to dispel it, and then it didn't.
It didn't like that.
It didn't like that.
So I pull out the book and I like try to open it, and it's locked, right?
Yep, it does not open.
It's locked, and I don't have a key or the solution to it.
And you don't have the knock spell, I believe?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think that was what we thought was the problem.
No, you had got it open, but all the pages were blank.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I don't think you had read magic on hand.
I don't have that as a spell.
You don't have read magic?
No.
Why?
You're a sorcerer. No, I mean, that's the excuse that, like, legitimately you could use. And it would make total sense.
I wasn't aware it was a necessary skill or spell.
Well, open it.
Oh, I try to open it. It's locked.
Did she open it with like a dispel magic? I
Yeah,
forgot.
I think so.
Yeah,
think
it
we
was
just-
dispel magic got the arcane lock off,
Right. Okay. So.
And then
and
it
then
said
she was
dispel
able to
magic.
open it. It was all blank. It didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Do you cast dispel magic?
Yeah, I'll cast a spell magic on it and be like, and this is what happens if I use the spell
Roll
I
d20.
have. Okay. Ah,
Doesn't break automatically. You get-
fair. I rolled a 15.
Right. It snaps. You hear like a.
Yeah.
It snaps.
And that pop, I think, is the bad thing. And I open it and I show her.
She looks at it for a second, kind of goes,
For being about wine,
read magic. And you see, like, arcane writing lights up. It's pretty useful to have read magic when you do magic.
I've never needed it as a sorcerer.
Well, we did try doing read magic, but I couldn't read it because I was a gnome.
Yes.
Wait, you're not there.
No, I'm just making sure
I
David
know.
remembers.
Okay.
That's
You
all
can't
it
do it
was.
because you're no.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, did you cast read magic on her? Or?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying, like, I cast read magic
Right.
and it's a self spell.
Yeah. So, sorry. Rebuttal that. She casts read magic, and you see it just say, "You're not an elf." And kind of goes like,
And I don't have it. So.
she kind of goes, "Hold on." She pulls out a different, like, she pulls out this map scroll case, opens it up, kind of flips through.
Can I use that if I don't have use magic device?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm assuming it's a read magic.
It's a read magic. You just fucking use it.
I'll use it and I'll read the book.
Okay, so you cast read magic on it, and it kind of goes. You see, it actually spells out something to you in Elven, and it says, "Hello."
Vera's eyes just go like wide, and she like, hello. And I flip a page.
There's nothing there.
What? I don't understand. I'll like flip a few more pages, like go to the front and the back. What is this?
Don't know.
And it's just that one hello on like,
It disappears.
oh. I don't understand. And it doesn't say anything like when I say hello?
It says hello back.
I ask towards the book, what are you?
It spells out in Elven, You need to speak with magic.
I don't understand what that means. I kind of like look over at Leo.
Do you have
Leo
spellcraft?
Yes, I do have spellcraft. I have that now. Not much, but I have it. I should have let it fall off the table. 9.
Do you wish to use lettered experience?
Yes! Fucking...
I want to know what the book do.
I want to know!
So there's a lot of different ways that you can speak with magic, quote unquote. Like there's you can comprehend languages, there's tongues, there's arcane mark, technically, leaves your own personal mark. So it's kind of being vague, but there are different ways that you could quote unquote speak with magic.
I guess I'll use arcane mark then.
Okay.
That only allows for 6 characters though.
Yep.
So I will instead use message. At very close range.
There we go.
That's smart.
And I'll just, since it's right there, I don't have to worry that much, and I'll just be like, what are you? And everyone else probably would be able to hear that because it's within range.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how much you can...
And I'll say it in Elven.
Yeah. Well, I mean, logically.
Yeah.
Since it doesn't seem to want to...
Do anything else.
Yep. It says, I am a book. An obvious question to an obvious answer.
I'll cast message again. Yay, sorcerer!
I'm gonna use up 30 messages on this thing.
Yeah.
I could. Can you tell me how and by who you were created?
Did you read the cover?
Is that literally what it says?
Well, it
That doesn't say how.
No, he's answering one question at a time. That was my creator.
Then I'll use another message. How were you created?
Magically.
This book is just the embodiment of David in going like,
Fuck you.
yeah. I'll answer exactly how you ask.
You should have been there when it was created. It was pretty magical.
Why?
You cast message again?
Yes. Every time I
Yeah.
do this, I'm gonna cast magic. I'm keeping track of how many fucking spells. This is 5, by the way. Why do you have so many security measures?
I'm a magic book.
That's not why.
That's exactly why. How many books can talk? Or write, I guess would be the more accurate. By the way, since it's all in Elven.
Yeah. What is the purpose of it?
That is a good question. I was created to hold information.
What specific kind of information?
All kinds. Magical kinds.
Are you a spellbook?
I was.
I want a spellbook. Wait, I don't use spellbooks.
You can tell.
This is why I'm so confused about this whole thing, is because I've never touched a spellbook in my life. I don't understand the concept.
Is this how wizards work?
Is this how... I look at Leoril, and I like look... Does she have a spellbook, or is it just the book that she writes in?
She has a book that she writes in. I'm not sure. What's going on with the book? She looks at you.
This is an old spellbook. It's literally talking to me, and I'm very confused. I might spend the night just figuring out what this is and
Well,
why.
talk to me. I want to talk to this book.
Will you talk to... What is she again?
Halfling.
Will you talk to this halfling?
I don't know. I can't see her.
How can a book see anything? It doesn't have a face.
Hey, we've had objects in the past that
Book
can
has a
see.
face.
And
Oh my god.
oh god.
And it's got guts. I mean, it's not spineless after all.
I was gonna make that joke.
I love
Okay,
it.
well, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. And
Did it take a
fucking
page out of your
leave.
put something in a book, it's got it covered.
I love it. Got me tearing up over here.
Oh.
What color is a book after you read it?
Red. Pretty sure it's marked.
So can Trevor actually read?
He can only read. He's never read a book. Actually, proud of that joke. You can't even be mad. This is really funny.
I'm gonna use all of my spells. I'm gonna have no more spell slots.
Oh no!
You haven't done anything all day today, and you don't have anything to do with the rest of the night.
I love the idea of a book that just goes, I burn your spells black because I want to talk to the book.
And there's probably just like a command where it's like, unlock so I don't have to speak magic to you.
Probably.
In fact, that'll be... Well, no, I'm gonna turn the book around, and I'm gonna hand the book to Leoril. You have to talk to it with magic.
Talk to it with magic?
A message spell, arcane mark, speak with tongues. I only have the message spell.
What'd you say again? I have to speak to it with magic?
Mm-hmm.
Of
Or
Kara
speak
has
through
tongues.
magic. Motherfucker.
Or not
or-
of Asgrim. He had tongues prepared yesterday.
She casts a spell on herself and starts talking to the book and seems to have a little bit of a conversation. Kind of goes like, you don't know tongues?
No.
She casts tongues on you.
Oh, thank you.
Not as much burning of spells.
That's fantastic. I'll just kind of like scooch next to her and like look at the book. Is it still in Elven?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, who was your owner previously? The Strider person?
Person who maybe.
Elf, I'm assuming.
Yeah, obviously.
How long ago were you made, do you know?
You're not going to believe me, but I have a really bad sense of time since I was in a drawer.
There's no copyright date.
I mean, I imagine you don't really need to sleep or eat or anything that would normally dictate time, so that makes sense. What happened the last time before he put you in that drawer?
Book seems to kind of like
Pause.
pause for a second. Kind of goes like,
Just the cursor blinking
you
on a
just see the
page.
dot, 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 dot. Kind of goes, I believe he had just... Yes, he had taken new notes on a new magic that he was preparing.
What magic did he specialize in?
All kinds.
So no particular focus. What was his favorite kind of wine?
He makes a list of like 30 wines.
I like just mentally like think to remember a few of them. Do any of them seem strange in the way they might be older?
You don't recognize any of these wines.
Oh wow.
Literally none of them.
I kind of like look at Leoril. Do you recognize any of those?
I'm very well traveled, and I'm going to be totally honest, I don't recognize any of these either.
How is your perception of the outside world? Do you know, say, if your creator had to fight something, what that was?
I don't have senses outside of this. I cannot see, I cannot hear, except with magical verse.
That makes a lot of sense. Did he ever write down notes or keep information with you about the regions that he would travel? Any names?
Sometimes.
What are some of the regions that he would travel?
I mean, he mostly traveled in the forest. I don't know why you're curious about that.
Because regions have different names at different time periods.
Oh, that's very fair. Kind of goes, well, he did travel through this forest, although he didn't give it a name. He just called it home, more or less. He once traveled north and met some people that he called exalted by some means. He traveled south and met dwarves at another point. They had some city that he was not too fond of.
Do you know the city's name?
The city that he visited south?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was called, like, Uralder.
Okay. What was your owner's, or your creator's full name? Strider, did he have any, was that his given name, his surname?
That's just what he wrote in the book.
That's the only, okay. Vera kind of like scratches her head and looks at Leorel and, what spells do you know?
Quite a few.
Could you show me? Just like their names?
I'm technically not allowed to unlock the feature of arcane casting without a password.
I mean, I'm a sorcerer, so I couldn't use them. I'm just curious what he called them.
The book just kind of goes, I'm not allowed to access them without a password.
Me thinks of questions to ask this fucking book.
Ask it what the password is.
Password hint?
After
It's
like
open sesame.
This is where the knowledge from Kaylin would come in handy with Exalted. I have to scrub that from my mind.
Well, just remember, like, the Exalted died like 300 or 400 years ago, so if an elf had a book that he kept that knowledge in, wouldn't be astronomically unheard of to be like, he might have met them. Elves lived for like 700 years.
Yeah. Okay, well, did your creator ever meet Exalted?
He said he went north to meet them. Whether or not he actually did, don't know.
So he didn't take you with him?
If he did, I wouldn't even know unless he wrote something in it. Again, I don't have spatial awareness. I don't even know where I'm at right now. And if you close my book without writing anything, I'll forget this entire conversation.
Oh, wow.
If I'm closed, do I even exist?
Why did he create you to be able to talk? Did he ever tell you?
Mostly to read back what he needed. If you write something in me, I can recall it directly as written.
That's handy.
I was used very often in the creation of things. He said he he liked not having to walk across the room.
I mean, I guess that's true. For your... We determined it was an arcane mark, right? Mm-hmm. That kept it locked?
There was an arcane mark on it.
I think there's an arcane lock on it.
Yeah, there's an arcane lock. And there was an arcane mark. And then...
Okay.
It had one other thing on it that you guys don't know about.
Okay. I kind of... Vera kind of like looks at Leoril. I might need to sleep on what else to ask it.
By all means.
She doesn't have any other, like, questions.
She kind of goes, I'm gonna be honest, it's a book. It's really old. It doesn't have anything to do with our current situation.
It doesn't, but...
So...
It'll be interesting later.
Absolutely. Right now, I don't care about it. I have other things to do.
And I'll just, for, like, the final thing. Were you ever given a name?
No.
Sad.
I'm a book.
Sad. Books can have names.
His name is Page.
Right.
Title.
no. Everyone, no. Well, I like pull out my my quill and write like an arcane mark in it, and I'll just be like, and I'll write my name, Vera, and be like, well, this is my name, so you remember.
Hello, Vera.
And sleep well if you sleep.
I'm a book.
Closes it. And I'll put it back in my pack. Well, probably should get some sleep. That way we can leave bright and early, right, Leovar?
He's gone.
I just like, Vera looks up and like, as she says that, looks around, and she's like, well, he's very good at what he does. I, meanwhile, should turn in. I use too many spells with message.
Leorel just kind of goes like, there's some nice beds in the back if you want them.
I appreciate it. And I'll just make my way over there to turn in.
Alrighty then. I think that's everybody, right?
Yes.
And here's where we are going to end this episode. Be sure to join us next time in the land of Sonin.